Blog Talk Radio.
Good morning. This is your host, Dr. Deb Carlin, and this is Blog Talk Radio, the K Factor, where K equals kindness, and the factors are all the things that lead to it. And today is Wednesday, and we call it over here the Wednesday Wins. So, what is Wednesday Wins about? Well, I have scheduled each day of the week to have another theme to it. Instead of just it's Wednesday, I want to think of things, particularly here in 2020, that are really good for mindset and good for motivation and inspiration and for getting grounded. I need it for me. I know that the clients that I have are asking for explanations. Well, I can't give explanations for why the world is the way it is. I can theorize, but here's what I do know. If we can't talk to the politic, what we can talk to is what we know. And actually, every single one of us is really expert in the human condition because we've been living it. We've been living it. We have all been living inside of our own skin and then interacting with others. Social psychology is the impact the environment has on us and that we have upon one another. And right now, in 2020, the world is a very different place for a lot of reasons. But it's important for us in the middle of these reasons to feel motivated to get up every day and to start the day anew. You've heard me say it before if you've been here previously. There's a gratitude that is going to help us win the moment that we open up our eyes. If we express that gratitude for just having the opportunity to open our eyes and have another day, that in itself, my friends, is really and truly a win. There are people who die in the night and they don't have the opportunity that as we're sitting here together, we do. We've already won the awakening of the morning, the opportunity to see the light of day. And then every day is a new opportunity to do something different, to be refreshed by the opportunity and think about what is it, really and truly, this is the question for Wednesdays. What is it that makes you feel like you're winning? You might say, winning at what? Well, winning in the game of life, winning at having the day that you want, the life that you want, the work that you want, the money that you want, the relationships that you want, the health that you want, your overall well-being that you want. Those are wins. Being in the body that you want, that's a win. I am constantly, albeit not consistently, because I'm human, just like you, I am constantly looking at the ways in which I can win. I just want to win beyond me getting in my own way. And we all take turns doing that. The majority of the work that I do with people for decades is about helping others, myself along the way, get out of our own way for the benefit of ourselves and for the benefit of others. So while you're sitting here and listening, something's rolling around in your mind about the ways in which, oh, brother, I know exactly what she's talking about. I get in my own way. Why do I do that? Well, there's self-sabotage. There's self-fulfilling prophecies. I talk to people every day who tell me that they don't understand. Why am I so stuck? Well, because you got your feet in concrete or in deep mud or in quicksand, But just envision that you don't, that you're walking across the grass, that you're walking across the pavement, and you don't have to be stuck. Stuck is a mindset. Stuck is a perception. And what you think actually becomes. You're facilitating where you're at and what's unfolding for you because of what you're doing in your head all the time. So when I was in my 20s, these friends of mine and I, who were really into reflection and psychoanalytic process and wanting to learn what's really going on deep within there. And we'd have tea in the morning and we'd have these long discussions and then go for a run, which was a great, healthy way to start the day. I long for the day when I think I can run again. I think I can. I think I can. In those conversations, we got really stuck on this idea of stuckedness in the head. And it was getting in the way of winning at anything. The run on the backside of that was a real win for me. And it was lovely. It was a great way to feel powerful, to feel free. I ran with two guys who were big guys and really tall, and I'd run in the middle of them, and we'd get into about the 3.5 mile mark because we'd run about 7 miles a day. That was really spectacular. And I would hold on to both of them on their like around their elbows, just grab them on the upper arm, and they knew I was doing it. And I would close my eyes. Now, we knew the pavement, we knew the routine, we knew the route, so it was safe. I would close my eyes because I was just getting into an endorphin high, which made me feel like I was achieving a win. And I would close my eyes as my legs began to feel like rubber bands. And it was so groovy. It was so amazing. And when I get into this defeated mode, I remember that experience. Well, before the run, when we were talking about stuckedness, my one friend, who was just hilarious, said, "You got mind glue. You got glue sitting in your brain and it's capturing these thoughts. You need a little grease. So we need a little mind grease to go with that mind glue." And I love that. I think about it and I think, yeah, I don't want glue in my head. It's all sticky. Things are just sitting there. I need some, butter. And let's just lube it up in there and let the thoughts flow. I don't want to be stuck. Being stuck is the undesirable part of stillness. Stillness is very different because stillness is intentional for peace, and that is a fabulous feeling. So what do you do right now to feel like you're in a win? It's Wednesday. What was Monday like for you? We had the Monday mood here, which is a Monday episode. Mondays are called the Monday mood, and they're designed to kickstart your week with thinking about what you want your mood to be, acknowledging where it's at. And if you're in a great place, spectacular. That's awesome. Consider posting about it, writing on my timeline about it, responding to what it is that I'm posting there about the Monday moods. Tell me how this helps or tell me what you need. And then Tuesdays are Tuesdays with Tessa. And my good friend Tessa Greenspan and I spend the time on here talking about her life story and her pearls of wisdom. Those things kind of set things in motion. She's very inspiring and motivational. She has had a very, very different kind of a beginning to life than what anybody could ever imagine. And her story of trials and tribulations and determination to win is really uplifting. And it culminates here today at the pause of the week, the midweek pause, to just sit and ask yourself, where am I? Where am I in the midst of this particular week and this particular day? What am I winning at? It's a good question. Now, I'll tell you, in the midst of everything that's going on in our world, but particularly here in the United States, I ask myself that question a lot right now. Where am I winning? Or how can I possibly win through this impossible social psychology? How can I possibly win? What is my life really all about? What's it going to be? How is all this going to unfold? I have worked my entire life for my dreams to get realized. And it feels this year, true confessions here, like I'm living in the contrast of where I'd hoped I'd be in 2020. It's mid-year, it's July. There are days when I watch the news or I take a drive or a walk and I see things that I find to be very disturbing. I see evidence of social unrest and I get scared and I get really sad and I get all the way concerned deeply. If you have followed me on social media, you have seen my Facebook Live episodes when I've driven through areas where there's been the aftermath of violent outbursts. And I visit those places very early in the morning, either the day after or a couple days after. Check with the police to make sure I'm not being an idiot and driving into something, because I want to see. I want to see from my own eyes, is this real? What is it that's happened? And oddly enough, that too is a win for me, because if what I do is I sit in my own home and I sit in my own fear, that's a lose for me. When I go out and I see even what is heartbreaking, even what is scary, even what is agitating, I still feel like I'm winning something. I'm winning my courage. I'm winning my self-respect by not recoiling and disappearing from my place in our society. And then I think about the contrast. One of the people that I really admire is Esther Hicks, also popularly known as Abraham Hicks. I listen to Esther, I listen to Abraham, and I hear the words that resonate with me so deeply. And they're about living in the contrast. There's conversation about how you have a vortex. It's where you have stored up all your thoughts, all your feelings, all your dreams of anticipation about what you want out of this life, all your desires. And it's magnificent. And it's kind of like the backpack that you wear all the time, or the bow and arrow container where you keep your quills. They're there and they're waiting for you to allow them your usage as you unpack them, not just store them and carry them around. Because we carry all of our desires in our mind and we keep them locked in there all too often. And when we do that and we're out here in the world and there's something that's out of order, that's not right, that's bothering us, we are living in the contrast of that backpack, that container with the quills. We are living in the contrast in a way that is at variance from what we want. It took me a while to get into that concept and really be able to recognize it and hold it, really hold it close to me, so that I could sit still and say, where I'm sitting right now is very uncomfortable. I don't like it. And then I ask myself, what is it about this that I don't like? And I can go through the details of that. But what I really know is that I am sitting here in this icky, when what I want to do is I want to be over there in the land that is what I want. So whether it's a house or work or relationship or a body, you are not there, you're here. You're living in the contrast. Now, why would that be a healthy exercise? Because some people, when I described it, they say, oh, that's so depressing because it's a million miles away. No, there's no such thing as a million miles away when it comes to what's in your head. What it is it's an opportunity to say, huh, I'm here and I want to get over there. How do I do that? Well, Wednesday wins. You sit still just for a bit and you think to yourself, what is it that I need to do strategically to get from here to there? Now, here's another problem with that. Because what I have is I have people who I ask that to, and they give me these very blunt, often aggressive answers. And what I say is, what you need to do to get from here to there is to make peace with where you're at. That doesn't mean to settle. It means to make peace with where you're at. You are where you're at right now for very specific reasons. And if you allow yourself the opportunity, those reasons are very clear to you. We may hide from them, we may want to hide from them or hide them from us, but we all really know why it is we do what we do and how we've landed here. So people will say to me, well, I'm in this relationship and it's a great relationship, but there's these components that I don't like. Well, why do you think that is? I don't know. It's just me. This is just the way that I am. And I expect my partner to just accept who I am. Oh, and do they expect the same from you? Well, yeah. And do you? Well, I would if they weren't. And then the list begins. Okay, guess what? So all of us have things that are resistant with others. And so we get this rub between us and others, right? So the thing to do is to look at, if I'm here and I want to be there with this person in this relationship, how do I get there? Well, the very first thing to do is to say, I'm making peace with who I am and where I'm at, and I'm making peace with who they are and where they're at. So if I work on myself and I really get me to where I want to be, then who it is I want, what it is I want, is my ideal mate, friend, business partner will unfold for me, because I will then be there in my state of readiness completely. That's a win. And we can get there. And by the way, the second part of that exercise is to say what my friend Tessa taught me. If not this, then one better. If not this mate, then one better. If not this work, then one better. If not this, and you just go on and on. So everything that happens in this life is really, if you allow yourself this mindset, it's about absolutely everything that you want in goodness. That's the qualifier. In goodness, in harmony with nature, in harmony with your nature, your true core nature. And when people tell me, oh, I know I'm crabby, oh, I know I'm gritchy, oh, I know I'm demanding, oh, I know, and they go down the list of negatives, and then they want to tell me, but that's just me. What I say is, that's a part of you, but that's not the best of you. And we can each work and aim and thrive into the best of who we are. I believe that, and I have to believe it every day. You know, there are days when I look at the news and I hear all this chattering and this arguing and this negativity between different entities and parties and personalities, and I get pretty sad. And then I think, there's no way to win. And then I think, stop, snap my fingers at myself. Sometimes both fingers at myself. Stop. That's not where I want to go. That's not who I am. I want a life of wins. I make mistakes. I have to correct my mistakes. That's a win. Acknowledging that I've made mistakes, that's a win. Doesn't feel like a win in the moment, quite frankly. It feels like a complete obliteration of my whole character. Like, what an idiot. How did I do that? And then I have to do whatever I can to make restitution, to make right of my wrongs. My religion helps me because I pray. I pray for insight. I pray for another opportunity. I pray for forgiveness. I pray for peace inside of my own heart and inside of my own mind. And what I know is if I continue on that path, I can get there. And I never stop trying. I might pause every now and again, but I never really, really stop trying. And this, my friend, is all about what I call authentic, holistic well-being. And it is about looking at your wellness and everything about yourself is having an opportunity to look at all the components of your reality, all your components of this life experience, and saying these are all the components of wellness that I want to believe in and get to the core good of. So I invite you, and if you've been here before, you've heard me talk about it, invite you to Google Dr. Deb Carlin. I invite you also to Google Build the Strength Within. I want you to look at my book. I want you to take a sneak peek. I want you to look at the online program that's there. And I walk you into an opening chapter so you can get a flavor for what is it that's in there. And either make up your own design for what that book is about or dive into my book. But I identify 11 areas that are about our authentic, holistic well-being. And at the core of it is self-love, self-talk. I actually give you scripts for yourself. And the ultimate win. The ultimate win is to be your very best self. And you can do that. So here today on Wednesday, midweek, I'm wishing you all the best, the very best for today. And I want you to sit here for a moment with me and just breathe. Breathe in confidence and exhale self-doubt. Breathe in every bit of your wins and exhale all self-doubt. Breathe in every bit of confidence that is really authentically you and exhale everything that is cock-a-doodle-doo. Yes, every time I do it, I love it. It just feels so right and so good. On that note, I leave you. Peace out. Thank you for being here with me today. It was magnificent. And I will see you again next time.